Hello, everyone. So it's been a while. The last reading I did was on April 12th, which was the pink moon. So I've just been taking a little bit of a break, but also I was kind of busy with a couple other things. And so like today, for example, I took the day off from work. I had a photo shoot that I did for a New York shoe brand, New York City shoe brand. So that went really well, and I enjoyed everyone I worked with today. So feeling pretty energized now. Granted, it is Wednesday, so I didn't do Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday's reading. But what I'm going to do is focus on doing Sundays and Mondays today. Okay, you guys are coming out of anxiety, which I love to see. Things are turning around for you. Pain is easing. Yeah, I guess something, wow, and I just saw that, yep. I knew it because I saw it. This caught my eye, so, I think you probably had someone in your energy that had initially, given you a grounded offer, something that you were comfortable with, but, things just ended up not working out. You had to walk away. There's definitely some pain here, guys, but you walked away from it, and you're just focused on your emotional well-being at this time and your abundance, so very good. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, so I'm going to focus on doing Sunday and Mondays today, maybe more if I can. My one issue, though, is it's kind of like I can't just record a bunch because I'll have to edit and move it, to make space on my phone, so if you guys catch me, I need to make sure that we get this recorded. So today we're going to be doing pretty much kind of just touching on, we're going to basically just do a love reading. Typically I do kind of just a week ahead, but let's just go ahead and, okay, Devil in reverse. Let's go ahead and pull for your energy, their energy, and the overall energy, and just kind of see what else wants to come out. Since typically I would be giving you a midweek forecast. Midweek love forecast. Let's take a look. Four of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Now, it is coming in the reverse, but interestingly, the Four of Swords really speaks to rest, okay? Taking time really to focus on your energy, your connection to source. This is a time really to just, for me, not similar to the Hermit, but, a small rest break, really to reflect, possibly to pray. So at this time, interestingly, I really feel that the energy coming off this card, which I typically take as the underlying energy of the reading, but I'm really taking this as your person's energy, and just they are completely, like I said before, you walked away from this person, right? So this is kind of the energies, right? Your person has the Sun followed by the Queen of Pentacles. So what I'm getting right off the bat with the Four of Swords is that they're completely neglecting doing, any of the hard work that needs to be done to improve themselves, okay? So if this is someone that you have history with or have a pattern with, if you will, it looks like you're doing, some inner reflection here, but, on the other hand, I feel like they are doing whatever they can to receive happiness, I wanted to kind of say like a false measure of happiness or success. It's like, I think they're just kind of indulging in themselves at this time, maybe going, buying things for themselves, that type of thing, but they're, it's like I don't know, it's like they're really not trying to look at the situation, or they don't, they're just, I don't know what, I don't want to say blindsided, that's not the word. Oh. Gullible is not my apologies, guys. Let me see if it can come to me. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't think of the proper word. It may come to me, but it's almost as if like you moving away. It's like it just they're in this energy of, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm good. All that type of stuff. Like, right, I'm good. I'm good on my own. But I'm just, I don't know. We'll dig a little bit more into it, guys. Now, the Four of Swords in the reverse. I do feel that, this is speaking to restlessness, possibly even burnout. But this is a sign, as I said in the beginning, that, your person needs to take time off to rest and recharge. But it's like as I was saying that, they've just been going. It's because it's like they're trying to keep themselves busy, okay? So they're just going, whatever it looks like, hanging out with friends, seeing family, keeping busy, going to work, going out to buy themselves stuff, whatever, So, it's like they've been experiencing a lot of energy lately. And at the end of the day, there is the energies here of feelings of stress, anxiety, and just feelings of being overwhelmed. Now, the Four of Swords in reverse also talks to rejection from a pressuring lover. Okay, so definitely a message to you, just from the way I saw the energies coming out earlier. Okay, so you've been rejecting this person's advances. And remember, we saw that I believe it was the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and here we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So you're rejecting their advances. They may have tried to send you messages. I don't know if this person's blocked or not, but I just kind of think, at this point you've seen enough, essentially, right? So yeah, I mean, it's just, this person's trying to keep themselves busy, guys. I mean, they're quite frankly, there is pain there. If you were wondering, do they feel something? Do they even miss me? Did they even care? Yeah, they did, but they don't want to look at it. They absolutely don't want to look at it. They don't want to face nothing. They don't even want to, literally, they do not want to open their eyes, because when they do open their eyes, 3 swords are going to fall on their face. Okay. But but they're just in even if they've been getting, I feel like even if, maybe like friends or family or close ones maybe even be talking to them about like, dude, like, basically like as if they were in the wrong in some way, in some form or fashion. It's like they just don't want to hear it. They're just like, no, I'm good, guys. Like, it's fine, whatever. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move over to the Queen of Wands. Now that's coming in for you, okay? And we have it in the reverse. Now the Queen of Wands to me really speaks to independence. Also, creativity. So I feel like at this time, this is your energy, okay? You may be lacking confidence. There may be feelings, of jealousy. But the energies are temperamental, right? You're obviously still just essentially feeling through the feelings, okay, at this time. Now, the Queen of Wands reverse can signify that perhaps you've been experiencing low self-confidence, right? Low self-esteem, just kind of feeling down, right, about yourself, or even not about yourself, but about the situation and the connection. You guys may also be hiding physically and emotionally, isolating yourselves from others. As I say that, I could definitely see that here in the Four of Swords for your energy, okay? Although I was saying I was really getting more of just your person's energy here in this card, but that definitely is a message for you, okay? Now, to wrap up here with the Queen of Wands, do understand, guys, that, feelings of nervousness or worry, or inflexibility can interfere with your energy or with your plans or with, where you're trying to move forward. So just try to keep focused, guys, as best as you can on, on your path. And to, reiterate, I pulled just some additional cards here for extra information, but we have the Hanged Man in the reverse. Okay, so again, you guys are in a period essentially of kind of stagnation at this time, okay? And really trying to figure out, I feel like you guys, I don't know, I mean, I really feel that you guys, this is just difficult for you. I feel that you may have been kind of already daydreaming about the future, your future with this person. At this point, though, right now, you're literally in stagnation, okay? And you're standing still. And this Hangman in the reverse, it actually represents a very specific period of time, okay? So when I say a very specific period of time, that essentially means that specific period of time will end, right? Now, during this specific period of time that you're in right now with the Hangman reverse, you may feel as if basically like you sacrificed a significant amount of time, and basically it's like you got nothing in return from this person, okay? And that's what I was trying to say before. I had said, it's like I do feel that you really cared about this person, you really liked them, you really did a lot for them, you were starting to see a future together, okay? Now, as I said, this period of, suspension or uncertainty will sooner or later come to an end. But very importantly, guys, you are going to need to reevaluate, okay, your priorities, as well as take new directions in your life, okay? And always ensure that you move forward in your life doing things that bring you happiness, okay? Things that propel your day-to-day with joy and just happiness versus fear, okay? But it's very understandable if, especially if this is someone you just walked away from, that these feelings are still going to be there, okay? So, but, even with the sun here, even though this is coming in for your person's energy, I'm wanting to say, though, that ultimately with the sun here and just in the position that it is, essentially, it's like I'm receiving a message, guys, that it's going to be okay. Okay, you guys you're going to get to the sun energy soon enough, okay? You're going to get to happiness. You're going to feel successful, optimistic, full of vitality, joy, confidence, as well as truth. The sun card represents abundance and radiance, okay? So that's yours to have. Like the sun itself, it gives strength and vitality to all those who are lucky enough to feel its rays. And I'm so glad, because I was wanting to say something when I was talking about like living your day-to-day with joy. But it, the Sun card says it very beautifully. It's just that whoever allows in the rays of the sun are going to feel the sun's rays. Okay, so I hope it's basically attraction, guys, and I understand again this period, but it will soon come to pass, as stated here with the Hanged Man in the reverse. And after that time has passed, you're gonna get the sun. You're gonna start getting the sun's rays and feeling joy and abundance. This also speaks to happiness and love in relationships. Basically, that positivity is attractive, guys. This is you feeling radiant. So, like, if you take anything from this message, it's truly, this is a card of attraction. I've just, when I think of this, when I see the sun, I'm like, oh, happiness. But now, like today in this video with you guys in this reading, the sun for me is speaks of attraction, and I I've read, I've come across the sun quite a few times, but it's like just right now all this connection. It's like definitely, guys, this is all about once you come to that period where you have to take time off and rest as well. Even you guys as well. This may be speaking to you if you haven't. You may have walked away, but you haven't really taken the time to reflect or what a good cry, you know what I mean? Or maybe you haven't cleared the energies. And what I mean by that, clearing, their information, their photos, whatever the case is, getting rid of things they got, all that stuff will matter, guys. But don't bypass. Obviously, you can't just trick yourself and be like, okay, I'm happy, let's go. You're really going to need to take the time, essentially, to work through the pain of the Four Swords. Okay? And, I'm not to joke here, but hey, at least it's not the Ten of Swords, right? You guys, like I said, this is going to be a very short period of time that you're kind of in this crummy energy, right? Of just kind of feeling a little bit down. But once you kind of start once you just kind of take a break, take a rest, reflect, meditate, however it is that just kind of like brings your, raises your vibrations back into that good feeling, into those good feeling vibrations of joy, positivity, and all that, success, then by nature, naturally, you're going to just start attracting, my goodness, lovers. You're going to attract successful projects, within the workplace or whether you have your own business. But the Sun card shows you that you have a significant sense of deserved confidence right now. Even though you don't feel that way, you should be, basically, I feel like you should be praising yourself, because not everyone can do the hard work. I don't remember where we had seen when I had showed y'all the Five of Cups. Oh well. But if y'all can remember what that looks like, not everyone can walk away, guys, from here it is. And I don't know why. Sorry, I just like to show you guys. So we saw these earlier, right? You guys did the hard work. You walked away from, from disappointing emotional connections, and what I'm trying to say is, like, not everyone, has the strength to do that, has the will to do that. So, 100%, guys, I do agree with the Sun card, okay? Life is particularly good, guys, and the sun is shining your way as you reach the goals that you have set or that you will be setting, okay? And as I said earlier for this person, this, even though I pulled it for your person, this is absolutely your your energy is like this, or the energy flowing out of the card is like directing to you. I don't know how to explain it, but, and that's why I said earlier, I'm like, I just feel that this person is just completely not wanting to even think about the situation. Like, they don't even want to look at it. They don't, like, it's like if they start to think about you, it's like they change the thought and try to think about something else. I guess it's like distractions. Maybe that's what I was trying to say earlier. It's like they're just trying to distract themselves. And I mean, I love reading, guys. I mean, we could get super, super into it, but of course, these are just very, general. So, all right. So the Queen of Pentacles, okay, is coming in for your person's energy now. Again, they're kind of at this period. It's like they're just trying to nurture themselves as best as they can. This could also speak to being a homebody, but I feel like even if they are at home, they may have friends or family or they're just things to distract themselves. But, because this is a card really of material abundance and sensual pleasure. So take that as you resonate, guys. You know your person right better than I do. So I just feel that they're really just trying to pamper themselves, essentially. Which is fine. But, yeah, I think this person's just really trying to somehow regain a semblance of independence and success, after a long period of, I don't know, a long period of the relationship, or a long period of just, maybe you guys, the connection could have been rocky, for a while, but take it as it resonates, okay? But honestly, it's like right now, this is also indicating that your person is on a challenging uphill journey, literally. Now, that challenging uphill journey could quickly come to an end if they really took the time to heal themselves, guys. That's what it just has to be. And because they're not going to do that, I mean, that's just all to say there. It's like they're trying to fool themselves, but they're hurting. They just don't, I don't know. They don't want to look at anything. Now, the overall energy, we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, and as I had said in the beginning, I just feel that right now, your person is trying, or has tried, or is trying to contact you, trying through, grounded efforts, essentially saying whatever it is that needs to be said, essentially that would, possibly get you to reach back out to them. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, the energy coming off of this card, just speaks to foolishness, immaturity, irresponsibility, laziness, underachievement. Perhaps this person is a procrastinator, but the card's words, not mine. This person is a poor prospect. Okay, so I say that with love, but take that as it resonates. Okay, I mean, you left them for a reason, right? Or you at least walked away for a reason. This person has lost sight. They literally have lost sight of what's like why they even got into the relationship with you in the first place. And, for whatever reasons, they may just be feeling scattered, stuck, or even just feeling a loss of excitement. And don't take that personally. It's just something they feel within themselves that is essentially affecting the relationship, okay? And it's why we, I say we that have gone through breakups, that have gone through heartache, that have gone through dark nights of the soul, that have gone through, and not just in love, but in different areas of life. I was like, where was I going? Darn. Okay, well, I was talking about not taking anything personally, because it's just what what he feels with, or, what your person feels within themselves. I could be talking to a male or female, so I'm not getting one way or the other here, really. But anyway, so yeah, I just feel that this person really went off of, really just, it's like I feel they got into the relationship, I should say, for superficial reasons, okay? So they probably thought you looked really good, really delicious, and they wanted to be with you, and then they started to feel stuck and, but, what are you going to do, guys? Really, what are you going to do? And, we have the Five of Swords here in the reverse, so I feel like you just kind of finally, I feel like you're surrendering here. I've come to this point, pinnacle myself, where I've just, you can surrender. You can fully surrender, but I feel like you guys right now are at least surrendering for resolution and peace within your own heart, within your own life. This can speak to, of course, regret and some remorse, but it speaks to cutting losses, and that's exactly what you do. We saw that in the beginning with the Five of Cups, the Eight of Cups as well. We saw the Three of Swords, I forget what else, but the Five of Swords reversed, it can show up when, and I feel like this could be speaking to both of your energies, but, take it as it resonates. This can show up when someone's having trouble moving on from someone in their life, okay? So again, I do feel that was the case for you, but you did it, okay? And I do really feel that you're going to stick with it, okay? Because obviously you weren't happy in the relationship. You're moving on to happiness. This just speaks to a breakup, guys, and this can also show up when when you're feeling unfocused in your energy, or like you feel like you're not making progress. Just, you might just kind of feel like you've just kind of been, excuse my language, like, dicking around, just kind of watching stuff, even trying to kind of, what I say about your person, almost try to distract yourself a little bit too, but not to the extent this person. I mean, this person is just literally like, head in the clouds, does not want to come back down to reality. So you are encouraged to be patient with yourselves, okay? And just focus on taking small steps in the direction that you want to go in, guys, all right? And as I said earlier as well, you want to make sure that you're doing things that bring you joy, happiness, love, peace, fulfillment. Five of Swords in the reverse popped out again. But I'm going to pull just making sure we're still good, and we are. Let's pull an advice card to finish up. Be patient with yourselves, heal yourselves, take care of yourselves. All right, I'll take that as I'll take this as your advice card, and we have the Ace of Wands, okay? So the Ace of Wands, turn my laptop back on. The Ace of Wands, first and foremost, to me really speaks of beginnings, okay? And you guys saw it there. Well, I shuffled the cards already, but I would have held up the sun right next to it. So you're headed toward new beginnings, guys. That's really all I could say. This also to me speaks to creativity. So if you guys have set your sights on a project or a business or an entrepreneurial endeavor, whatever that looks like, guys, if it's a thought that pops in your head, you thought about it for a reason, So I just see beautiful abundance. Even the sun, of course, is shining brightly in this card, so I really don't even need to have it side by side. But beautiful messages, guys, and good luck. I wish you well. Stay focused.